Greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, and welcome to another great edition of Movie Night Live from the Monastery of Mayhem, along with the Angry Brothers Omaha rama, and we're coming to you from deep in the bowels of Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, it's like Brother Jack's had a rather rough week. I mean, you know, it's like with all these shootings and everything. I mean, just even walk across the grounds of the monastery, I've got bullets whizzing around me on all sides, you know. It's like last time, I haven't seen that much action since the last time I was in Beirut, you know. And what I was doing in Beirut, I have no freaking idea. It's just I woke up there, you know. That's what happens when you drink shit out of somebody's trunk in Council Bluffs, you know. If somebody ever in Council Bluffs ever says, "Hey buddy, you want to buy this? You want to buy some cheap liquor?" Do yourself a favor. Don't. It's not going to end well, trust me. No good will come of it. You know, but yeah, with the situation in Omaha, with the shootings and the robberies and the muggings and the car break-ins and everything, I mean, let's stop the madness, people. And you know, Brother Jack might make jokes about the police, but he, you know, at the end of the day, I've got the utmost respect for the OPD and their officers. I mean, let's face it, they truly are the thin blue line that are protecting all of us from the animals out there. And, you know, it's like, let's face it, you know, they're out there protecting you from, you know, from whoever, and basically their goal is to steal your shit, and we don't want that to happen. So, you know, if you run across a police officer in your daily life, in your daily business, you know, take a moment, shake his hand, tell him he's doing a great job, buy him a cup of coffee if he'll let you. We need to support our police, people. I can't say it much any plainer than that. You know, they're out there, they're putting their necks on the line to do an impossible job, and they're putting themselves at great personal risk to do it. So, again, take a moment to thank a police officer. Even if you get pulled over for a ticket, you probably deserved it. You know, that's enough, and that's enough of that. So tonight's movie is a really great feature, and this one goes all the way back to 1958. This is the H-Men, also called the Liquid Man or Liquid People. Again, the Japanese translation could go one of two ways. It was either Liquid Men or Liquid People or Liquid Monster. Now, I've actually seen all three, but this movie holds a special kind of place in Brother Jack's, you know, dead old heart, because when I was just a youngin' of about 12 or 13, we lived on the East Coast, and every Saturday on Channel 5, WWT-TV, Channel 5, they would have a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon movie matinee. It was usually a Godzilla movie, a horror movie, some type of action. They never really got into romances or anything like that. It was mostly horror, monster movies, Godzilla movies, or action movies. And one day they ran this really great movie called The H-Men. And I remember me and Brother James sitting there just being fascinated by this. To give you a little bit about the plot of the film, basically a fishing boat discovers a derelict ship adrift in the Sea of Japan or some damn place. Anyway, it's out in the middle of the ocean, there's nobody around it, and they're adrift, and you know, they go on to the this derelict freighter with the hopes of finding something they can steal and sell or salvage. That's what they call it, salvage, everyone, you know. And so the next time, you know, that TV ends up in the back of your car and you really don't know how the fuck it got there, you could say you was trying to salvage it, and let's see how well that works for you, and let Brother Jack know about that. Alright, well, anyway, they are trying to salvage the stuff on this ship, and they start running across empty suits of clothes, and we assume these are from the crew, you know, which, who the hell else would they be, you know? It's like, it's not like the pizza delivery guy's gonna end up on that ship. But anyway, they start finding these clothes and nobody in them. And as this crew from this fishing boat is going through, and they're seeing these, you know, empty suits of clothes, they start realizing that, holy shit, the crew never left. They're still right there. That's their clothes. So wherever they fell, they was dissolved. And one by one, the crew of this ship is being systematically picked off by these aliens, or they're radioactive aliens, and they exist in a liquefied state. And if they touch you, you dissolve. You know, you pretty much drop dead, and then you dissolve, and all that's left of you is your clothes. You know, it's kind of like that whole rapture thing, you know, kind of gone really, really fucked up and wrong. But anyway, so one survivor manages to get away, and he's picked up by the authorities, and he's telling his story. What the whole movie does kind of revolve around is a drug deal gone bad, and it involves a Japanese lounge singer, a police officer, and then several scientists. And we're going to leave it at that for right now. So we're going to get back to H-Men here on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakarama. Enjoy.
東京全土に避難命令発せられる戦慄と恐怖の街東京。
おめえと離れては一日も辛抱できねえ男だぜ。今夜帰ってやるが、もし美咲を殺へ渡したらおめえの命はねえぞ。
この人たちも逃げるところは見なかったって言ってるんです。全くわけわかりません。
忍術でも使って消えたっていうのかい。
美咲も千香子さんのアパートで消えた男も第二龍神丸事件と密接な関係があるというのが我々の結論なんだ。
強力な放射能をもって全生物を溶かし人類に挑戦する液体人間とは。
あの晩雨に濡れた人間は何百万人もいるんだ。かくいう俺もその一人だが、この通りピンピンしてるよ。
しかし溶けないとは限らない。
溶ける？
どうしてですの？現に人が溶けて死んでるじゃありませんか。
何だ言ったら分かるんだ。
重大な話なんだ。
科学者実験室で研究してりゃいいんだ。今にひどい目に遭うぞ。
おい。
When the lights low and the muted violins
液体人間の秘密を探る青年科学者と警察当局の決死的追及なるか。
あ、液体人間だ。
これに対する対策は
極めて消極的な方法ですが、差し当たっては高電圧の放電、あるいは火炎による焼却、今のところこれ以外に方法はありません。
東宝が誇る特殊技術の全機能を総動員して皆様に送る怪奇とスペクタクルの活劇巨編、東宝スコープ総天然色美女と液体人間、美女と液体人間をご期待ください。
Well, greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, bringing you tonight's movie, H-Men. And what did you think of that? Wasn't that scary? I mean, you had people just turning into puddles of liquid and people being sucked right out of their own clothes and turned into this radioactive liquid and people bubbling and sizzling and all this other good shit. Leave it to the Japanese. I mean, they do have a flair for the dramatic. They're such a dramatic little people, aren't they? Yes, it's like that whole harikiri thing, you know. It's like, beheading with samurai swords, and the harikiri. What a bunch of drama queens. But anyway, they do manage to put on a good monster movie, so we have to give them credit for that. Now, little bit of trivia about the film. And I'm going to read you this one because frankly I can't pronounce the names, and Brother Jack, you know, is rotten with names. You'll see the lead character, the lead female character of Yumi Shirakawa. She plays the rather hot-looking nightclub singer. She did 2 songs in the film. Now, she wasn't singing those songs. They were actually sung by the noted Japanese jazz starlet Martha McKay. And you know, they just dubbed it over her, and she was just lip syncing along with that. But still, not bad music. Not bad music. I've looked Martha McKay up on the internet, and I've listened to some of her songs on YouTube. Very talented voice. You know, Brother Jack's a bit of a jazz aficionado. I mean, you know, you give, you know, Nirvana, Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, you know, you can have them. Give me a little Frank Sinatra, a little Tony Bennett, a little bit of John Coltrane, you know, that sort of thing, and little Ella Fitzgerald, and I'd even settle for a little Martha McKay, or however the hell you pronounce it. Great singer. I mean, check her out on YouTube. Now, you will see in this movie, you will see that the detectives are making a big deal over one of the people who disappeared actually had his own TV set, and the detectives were making a big deal about that. Because when this movie was done in 1958, Japan was still coming out of the occupation from World War II, and the destruction of its own infrastructure, and basically the pretty much total destruction of its own economy. Japan didn't become an economic power until basically the end of the 60s, into the 70s and beyond. They were quite impoverished coming out of the war into the 50s. Because you will see in Japan, in like even shows that from the 60s and 70s, the late 60s and the early 70s, like Ultraman and Johnny Sacco, they used cars. Most of the general public only had access to cars that were from the 30s, the 40s, and into the 50s. That's because that was all they could get. And those were the imports that were available prior to the war or just immediately after the war. You know, Japan didn't start getting access to the newer technology until the 70s and into the 80s. So, for a Japanese family to own its own TV set was pretty much impossible because it was well out of the financial range of most Japanese families who, you know, I don't have the exact figures, but their take-home pay every week was considerably lesser than America and the UK and other developed nations. So for somebody to have a TV that they own themselves, it was probably acquired through illegal means, or they were one of the super wealthy, you know. Kind of just in a little bit of economic trivia. All right, and another big scene in the movie, and you'll see a lot of this in the movie, people will be dissolving. You'll see their clothes and they'll just kind of slowly deflate, and you'll see all the bubbling and all of this, and then it's pretty much an empty suit of clothing. The way that was actually done, they would take a life-size human figure, put the clothes on it, and then allow it to deflate on its own, just at a natural rate of speed. This process would take several minutes, but what they would do is they would then show it, speed it up like 2 or 3 times, so it only took a few seconds, and they would actually show it in reverse, which made that weird kind of collapsing or dissolving effect stand out. And that was just a little trick their special effects department came up with, but it actually worked out very well. And it's been noted on many occasions and it was used in many movies, including the Blob, not the original Blob, but Beware the Blob, and the remake of the Blob that was done in the in the 80s. They also used some of the techniques from the H-Men for this. So a little bit of interesting little trivia. Now, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get back to the movie The H-Men here on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakarama. Enjoy.
A ticking bomb means trouble for Batman and Robin.
Holy, breaking and entering! It's Batgirl!
Quick, Batgirl. Untie us before it's too late.
It's already too late. I've worked for you a long time, and I'm paid less than Robin. Same job, same employer means equal pay for men and women.
No time for jokes, Batgirl.
It's no joke. It's the federal equal pay law.
Holy act of Congress!
If you're not getting equal pay, contact the Wage and Hour Division, U.S. Department of Labor.
Well, welcome back, faithful followers. What did you think of H-Men? Wasn't that movie kind of different? I can't really say it was scary, although it did have some good suspense in it. And you know, you got to watch all these hot little Japanese dancing girls being dissolved and, you know, people getting turned into liquid left, right, and sideways. You know, what can you say, but that's entertainment. Although not a bad movie, and surprisingly well done from a technical point of view. Because there were very few continuity goofs, or there were no bits of the production crew being caught on film, like being reflected in mirrors, the guy holding the boom mic being reflected in mirrors. None of that. I mean, the Japanese were on top of their game as far as the technical aspect of it. I mean, their crews, they went in there, kicked ass, and took names, basically. I mean, those people, it was almost run like a military operation. I mean, everybody knew his freaking job down to the last iota, and they were in where they were supposed to be. They were where they needed to be when they needed to be there and doing what they needed to do. So, I mean, it was a very, very tightly run ship as far as that. And Tohei, the studio who produced H-Men, was noted for that. I mean, a Tohei production was put together with the same eye to detail as a military operation, which makes me kind of wonder if some of the management, you know, the upper management and the executives and directors weren't officers in the Japanese military, because they ran that like a freaking boot camp, like a combat unit. And my sources tell me that, you know, if a production assistant or a crew member wasn't doing what he was supposed to, you know, they didn't fuck around. There was no human resources. You're basically given your last paycheck, whatever time you worked for the week, you got your last paycheck, and you was out the door before God got the news. So very, very tight ship, very meticulous technical detail. The only goof that I was able to find in the film, and you'd only see it if you was watching the subtitled version, which I did happen to see both. Through like 3/4 of the film, you'll see in the subtitles the main character, Kenji Sahara, played Inspector. The name is pronounced, and in the dubbed version it was pronounced as Masada, M-A-S-A-D-A, but in the subtitles through like 3/4 of the movie, you're going to see it listed as Asada. And then in like the last quarter of the movie, you'll start seeing the correct pronunciation and spelling Masada being popped up. So basically, whoever was doing the subtitles for the movie, you know, didn't have their shit together and probably were booted out, being replaced with someone who knew what the fuck he was doing. So, I mean, again, a little bit of trivia, you know. I know if Lady Tord were here, she'd basically say I was getting a little too technical, a little too obsessed with trivia, facts, and figures. But hey, you know, this is what Brother Jack does. I mean, if you want sheer mindless stupidity, watch the other guy, you know, and his skinny little nurses who really look like they should be introduced to a sandwich. You know, sorry, it's like Bones ain't hot, honey. If I want to see Bones, I'll turn on the Sally Struthers commercials and look at the starving little Ethiopian kids with their big bellies, and they all look like starving marmots. So sorry, you know, I like women with meat on their bones. You know, I like some cushion on that. You know, sorry, that's just Brother Jack's opinion. You know what? And isn't that wonderful about America? I can give my opinion, and you can't do shit about it, you hack. But anyway, the movie H-Men, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because this movie, I have gone through hell to find it. I mean, I pulled in every source I could find, and for a long while there, I mean, I was just I was just coming up against a brick wall. And as you know, Brother Jack, he's quite the scrounger as far as coming up with films. And if I can't find it, it ain't out there. You know, plain and simple. And my other cohorts, Uncle Edward, Oliver, you know, the Toxic Zombie, I've helped all of you guys with your films and, you know, getting your shows started. So you know that when Brother Jack says he can do something, he delivers. But anyway, next week, this one, we had an accident with the filming and we lost a lot of our footage. So we're going to be bringing another episode, and it's going to be me running things for the next couple of episodes. You know, but don't worry, people. Look for us at Nebraska Anime Con. We're going to be there in November. Look for us at Congregation in April. We're going to be there. We may even have a table at that event. And look for us at Okamicon, which is going to be, I believe, next July. You know, we're going to be there as well. So great things are happening for the Angry Brothers, and you're going to want to see it and be a part of it. And, you know, as the popular meme says, you know, to my haters, be patient, so much more is coming. So on that happy note, this is Brother Jack Angry saying good night. Let's keep America on top. Watch Horror host you all. Good night and unpleasant dreams.